always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to some amazing things, and some things that are familiar yet powerful in what they evoke in us. The sound time makes. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. Time has fallen asleep in the afternoon sunshine. A line from a book that just missed being burned in the classic novel Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. If time were to nod off on a warm summer's afternoon, I wonder what little sound might escape its lips. The sound time makes. With Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Jason Mraz, I'm yours, and Bob Seger, and we've got tonight. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. G.A. Studdert Kennedy, in I Believe, had something very interesting to say about music. Kennedy gives the impression that it occupies a completely different space and time. Anyone who has ever been affected by music will know exactly what the writer means. And I quote, Beethoven, deaf, and the music of the Moonlight Sonata sings itself in his head. He takes wood pulp and some black liquid and bit of steel and makes blobs and lines and scratches on it. He dies, gets buried, and my friend comes into the drawing room and sits down at a big lump of wood with some wires and hammers inside. He pulls out a music book, looks at it, beats the notes that work the hammers, and there floats out upon the air the same stream of delicious sounds that sang themselves in the brain of Beethoven. And I sit here and see again moonlight on still waters shining, and hear the rippling of a little stream, and feel the touch of summer air. G.A. Studdert Kennedy, and I Believe. The sound time makes. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Jacksoul, and it's a shady day. Gordon Lightfoot, If You Could Read My Mind, and Burton Cummings, and I Will Play a Rhapsody. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Arthur Gordon from Guideposts wrote, Isn't it amazing how we take them for granted? Those little black marks on paper. 26 different shapes, known as letters, arranged in endless combinations, known as words. Lifeless. Until someone's eye falls on them. But then, a miracle happens. Along the optic nerve, almost at the speed of light, these tiny symbols are flashed to the brain, where they are instantly decoded into ideas, images, concepts, meanings. The eye's owner is changed, too. The little black marks can make him love or hate, laugh or cry, fight or run away. And what do we call this incredible chain of events? Reading. The spoken word rushes by and is gone. but the written word remains, endures. It can be consulted over and over again, forever. Arthur Gordon, from Guideposts. The sound made when the written word, like music, stops time. Lovers and Other Strangers, from iTunes and CHFI.com. Edwin, McCain, and I Could Not Ask for More, and Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. William Houseman in House Beautiful wrote, "Going home derives from rediscovering the joys of familiarity. There is the old reassuring bed, therapeutically obsolete though it be. It's your bed. The tick of the clock, the slam of the door, the creak of the steps. They too may be among your personally prized associations. Even the rising sun may be a personal possession. If the sunlight enters a certain window you remember it entering, then that is where it is supposed to enter. By clear inference, the sun therefore rises where it's supposed to. And for the best of all reasons, you're at home." William Houseman from House Beautiful. The sound time makes this hour with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Romantika and Fantasie. Michael Buble coming home and the Moody Blues on a Tuesday afternoon. The sound time makes. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Scott Russell Sanders from Townships. Published by the University of Iowa Press, edited by Michael Martone, wrote, "Home ground is the place where, since before you had words for such knowledge, you have known the smells, the seasons, the birds and beasts, the human voices, the houses, the lay of the land, and the quality of light. It is the landscape you learn before you retreat inside the illusion of your skin. You may love the place if you flourished there, or hate the place if you suffered there. But love it or hate it, you cannot shake free. Even if you move to the antipodes, even if you become intimate with new landscapes, you still bear the impression of that first ground." Unquote. Scott Russell Sanders from Townships. Published by the University of Iowa Press. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Jimmy Ruffin, What Becomes of the Brokenhearted, and Elton John, and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. I'm Don Jackson. Joyce Hiffler from the Rochester, New York Democrat and Chronicle wrote, and I quote, "The sound time makes. Little sounds that are imperceptible, unless we are as quiet as our own breathing. The ticking of the clock, the cardinal's call, the rivulets of rainfall singing through the drains. We must be very quiet to hear such sounds, and other sounds, voices, songs, thoughts. To become still enough to catch the muted sounds will also slow the heartbeat, lower the blood pressure, order the thoughts, and make everything more livable, more workable, and eventually more enjoyable. Joyce Hiffler, with the inspiration for this hour from the Rochester, New York Democrat and Chronicle. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.